Nature of matter. This video talks about the nature of matter. Anything which has mass and occupies space is known as matter. Everything around us, for example, books, pens, pencils, water, air, all living beings, and others, are composed of matter. All of them have a specific mass and they occupy space. Matter can exist in three physical states. They are solids, liquids, and gases. The constituent particles of matter in each of these three states can be represented as shown. In solids, these particles are held very close to each other in an orderly fashion, and there is not much freedom of movement. In liquids, the particles are close to each other, but they can move around. However, in gases, the particles are far apart as compared to those of solid or liquid states, and their movement is easy and fast. Because of such arrangement of particles, different states of matter exhibit the following characteristics. Solids have definite volume and definite shape. Liquids have definite volume but no definite shape. They take the shape of the container in which they are placed. Gases have neither definite volume nor definite shape. They completely occupy the container in which they are placed. These three states of matter are interconvertible by changing the conditions of temperature and pressure. On heating, the solid usually changes into the liquid, and the liquid on further heating changes into gaseous or vapor form. In the reverse process, gas on cooling liquefies to the liquid state, and the liquid on further cooling freezes to a solid. At the macroscopic or bulk level, matter can be classified as mixtures or pure substances. These can be further divided as shown. Mixtures are of two types, homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Many of the substances present around us are mixtures. Sugar solution, air, coffee, etc. are all mixtures. A mixture can be a homogeneous or a heterogeneous mixture. In a homogeneous mixture, the components completely mix with each other and its composition is uniform throughout. Sugar solution and air are thus the examples of homogeneous mixtures. On the other hand, in heterogeneous mixtures, the composition is not uniform throughout, and sometimes the different components can be observed. For example, the mixtures of salt and sugar, grains and pulses, along with some dirt pieces, are heterogeneous mixtures. It is worthwhile to mention that the components of a mixture can be separated by using physical methods such as simple hand-picking, filtration, crystallization, distillation, and others. Pure substances. Pure substances have characteristics different from the mixtures. They have fixed composition, whereas mixtures may contain components in any ratio and their composition are variable. Copper, silver, gold, water, glucose, etc. are some examples of pure substances. Glucose contains carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen in a fixed ratio, and thus, like all other pure substances, this has a fixed composition. Also, the constituents of pure substances cannot be separated by simple physical methods. Pure substances can be further classified into elements and compounds. An element consists of only one type of particle. These particles may be atoms or molecules. Sodium, copper, silver, hydrogen, oxygen, and others are some examples of elements. They all contain atoms of one type. However, the atoms of different elements are different in nature. Some elements, such as sodium or copper, contain single atoms held together as their constituent particles, whereas in some others, two or more atoms combine to give molecules of the same element. Thus, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen gases consist of molecules in which two atoms combine to give their respective molecules. When two or more atoms of different elements combine, the molecule of a compound is obtained. Examples of some such compounds are water, ammonia, carbon dioxide, sugar, etc. Water molecules are comprised of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Similarly, a molecule of carbon dioxide contains 2 oxygen atoms combined with 1 carbon atom. Thus, the atoms of different elements are present in a compound in a fixed and definite ratio, and this ratio is a characteristic of a particular compound. Also, the properties of a compound are different from those of its constituent elements. For example, hydrogen and oxygen are gases, but the molecule they make up, water, is a liquid. It's interesting to know that hydrogen burns with a pop sound and oxygen is a supporter of combustion, but water is used as a fire extinguisher. Moreover, elements of a compound cannot be separated into simpler substances by physical methods. They can be separated by chemical methods.